really detailed video for you live, and then I could not shut the video off and we ended up having to delete it. This morning, I want to give you an update on Venezuela. They actually had a third earthquake. Let's take a listen.
Now, there are reports of another earthquake that has struck off the north coast of Venezuela. This is just days after twin earthquakes killed nearly 1,000 people. This latest one, it measures at about 4.9 magnitude and has reportedly been felt in the capital, Caracas.
And meanwhile there, tens of thousands of people are still missing after the disaster on Wednesday. International rescue teams have now joined the search for survivors. North America correspondent Kanan Gok has the latest from Washington, D.C.
The numbers are shocking, and the expectation is that they could dramatically rise from here, and it demonstrates the
Look
scale
at this, guys.
of these rare natural
This
disasters.
is Venezuela had a third
There's a
earthquake.
website, which accounts for people reportedly missing, and it says that more than 50,000 people are still unaccounted for. We have hundreds of dead, thousands of injured, hundreds of buildings have been destroyed or damaged, and this is critical infrastructure that includes things like Caracas's main airport, more than a dozen hospitals. Now we're hearing reports that hospital staff are having supply shortages due to the severe volume of those injured rushing in, needing their help. Now, a mammoth search is underway, and crews are desperately trying to rescue people in these critical hours, but the fact of the matter is the scale of this disaster is so large they don't have enough heavy machinery to help find people trapped under mounds of concrete, and that is hindering these search efforts. And this is a country that was already in a humanitarian crisis. Over the last decade, nearly 8 million Venezuelans have fled the country for a number of reasons, due to human rights limitations, a failing economy, a crumbling infrastructure, corruption in the nation, a lack of job opportunities. So this country was already suffering. Now millions of Venezuelans who are abroad are trying to contact loved ones who stayed, and they're having trouble doing so because so many communication lines are down because of this disaster as well. And the stories that we are hearing...
This hit right in their city, guys.
Those who have survived, many know that their loved ones have died, and others are just waiting helplessly.
And this is the third earthquake.
Friends and family have
So this is brand new. This is another earthquake.
My brother, my sister-in-law, my niece, my nephew and friends are in there. I got here yesterday at 4 in the afternoon because I came from another city and nothing has been cleared. Everything is exactly the same. They haven't cleared anything. Where is the help? I don't see it.
More than 20 of my relatives have died here and in the Caribbean area in Guarena. I've been left practically alone in this.
Now, I don't know if you guys know, but Philippines also had an earthquake. So we're going to see if we can get an update on all of them.
For so many people there, Cayman, but international assistance is starting to arrive.
Yeah, the international response has been immense, but as you heard, there is frustration.
Okay, so from there they talk about the help that's coming in from different countries, the UK, the United States. Something that they don't give, though, is where you can send clothing or items and things. So I'm going to do some research and see if we can find that. And so I want to see if we can find where somebody is updating on all of the earthquakes, because there have been, here's another one here. Even more earthquakes shake the Caribbean. So that was 2 hours ago. So let's take a listen to that one, guys.
More earthquakes. Thank you for joining me, meteorologist Brian Shields. It is Saturday, June 27, 2026. Lots of shaking, of course, the massive earthquakes back toward Venezuela. Elsewhere, though, We've had additional quakes. Yesterday itself was rather active. For example, back toward the Dominican Republic, 5.0 in magnitude, about 82
That's pretty
kilometers
high.
down, shaking felt in Puerto Rico. The DR back toward Haiti with this one, but there were multiple solid quakes yesterday back near Nicaragua, El Salvador, Honduras, Costa Rica. Some of the
Guys, I'm
shaking
gonna
felt.
just put a stop on this for a minute. You see what's up right above Puerto Rico? Remember, look, Florida is very close to Puerto Rico, guys. Very close.
0.2 in magnitude, about 120 kilometers down, or 75 miles down. And then on top of that, we had another one yesterday on our Friday offshore of Antigua, Barbuda, offshore of Guadeloupe, 4.6 in magnitude.
Wow.
That was shallower, depth around 10 kilometers, or about 6 miles down. So quite a bit of activity. A lot of these in the shallow zone, some intermediate. Of course, the shallower they are, the higher chance you have to feel them. And of course, the stronger they are, the higher chance you have to feel them. Any of the ones that are really near 5 in magnitude or higher, if you're out and about, you may feel them. Under 5, if you're kind of minding your business, doing some work, you may not even notice that they do happen. But let me know if you've had any shaking. Even after giving you this video, we may have had some additional quakes. So again, let me know if you have any new quakes or you've been feeling the shaking the last few days. Different types of earthquakes out there, and I monitor this. I have a background in this, and again, I watch out for the different types because some lend themselves to a higher chance of tsunamis. Some are typically stronger than others. The recent ones from yesterday along convergent plate boundaries, so you have plates, one going under, one's underneath, one's on top, you get a little lift. Sometimes those do prompt tsunami warnings. So again, watching out for the convergent ones. Sometimes those are some bigger ones. And of course, the massive earthquake that we had, actually 2 of them, the double quakes on Wednesday. We're thinking of everyone with the
Actually, there's been a third since that.
Venezuela, 7.2 in magnitude. Just to take a look back at what we've had over the past week or so, and I'll go even longer in just a second. 39 seconds after that one, it was the 7.5 in magnitude. And again, not only super strong, but very shallow, both of those quakes, and dealing with several aftershocks. And still, while we're a few days after that, more aftershocks are likely with that. This one, or actually both of those double quakes in Venezuela, that was a transform plate boundary, a strike slip quake. So you have 2 plates going past each other. It's like if you were walking by somebody and you bump shoulders.
Well, they're shifting.
That's kind of what happened.
That's
there.
interesting.
Just to kind of give you an example, of course, on such an incredible magnitude, and I mean that in the bad sense of the word, incredible. Just so devastating what has happened in Venezuela, and the scenes are so heartbreaking. This community is no doubt thinking of you, and you can see that love in the comment section. Now, we've had quite a few earthquakes over the last month or so, not just over the last few days. This one 5.1 in magnitude. This one was back on
Okay,
June
so
9th,
he's
also
going to
with,
go
Costa Rica.
on the past here, and so I want to try to get us an update, if we can, on the number of earthquakes that we have had in the past 48 hours. Let's see. I'll have to spell this out. It will take a minute, but it's, I want to say it's, I don't know if you count Oregon and Nevada feeling the shaking, you know, those states felt the California earthquake. I guess that was one earthquake, but it was felt in 3 states. So you got to wonder what's going on. If these are, they're saying they're not connected. I guess they know that by the type. So he just explained earthquakes where the tectonic plates go over. Those are the ones that we hear about a lot, that we hear about growing up. We hear that one. And then he talked about ones where the tectonic plates just shift. Okay, so total number of quakes in past. Now, guys, I think I fixed the the problem too that I had where I could not I couldn't end the live, and I never had anything happen like that before. So, okay, that's still saying
In the last
3.
24 hours,
So that's not a meteorologist. I'm trying to find a meteorologist who is updating this 20 hours ago. Double West Coast earthquake threatens U.S. That's a 2-hour segment. That's by Brightside. I think it might be an AI. I don't know.
That's maps and data.
This guy's pretty good. But he's talking still about California. So, okay, guess what? There's only one segment out there right now talking about the fact that Venezuela just had a 3rd earthquake. Oh, this is Sky News, Venezuela number confirmed. Yeah, many. That's a live repeat. Some of the live newscasts will just repeat that they're live. Okay, so guys, what I'm gonna do is come back on here in a little while, and we're gonna go over. We're gonna have a lighter subject to go over. We're going to visit Umi and Mashuki, the pet finches, my pet finches, and we're going to talk about all the herbs that they have and their summer care. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But I wanted to update you on these earthquakes, guys. And yesterday we also went over what do you do when there is an earthquake. So because I had to delete that video, let me just tell you verbally quickly. So it says if you're in a building, get into the center of the building as much as possible. Under, drop to the ground, get to the ground, because if you don't, you'll get thrown to the ground with the earthquake. Just drop, get cover, so get under a table, they say don't go under a doorway, but go under a table, something strong that you can get underneath, and wait it out. They say if you're in a car, this is what they say, stay in the car. My inkling would be to jump out of it, right, and to get to some structure, but just stay in the car, they say. And they say put the brake on. And depending the severity of an earthquake, sometimes yes, definitely something that we can do. But dropping and getting cover is number 1. Dropping and getting cover. Because if you try to stand and hold on, as some people testified to, they were thrown and got broken bones because of that. So, and then we looked up yesterday, for those of you who don't know, we looked up the, let's see if I can do it quickly here because it was super interesting and it didn't take us long at all. But we looked up the historic earthquakes in Vermont. And actually, let me just do this and put in Vermont, because it's super interesting. It's a way long time ago that we had any significant earthquakes, guys, in Vermont. We haven't had anything significant. We've had some shaking. I can actually remember things falling off my shelf up near St. Albans about almost 40 years ago. And that was in Vermont. So, okay. So we haven't had anything major. Okay. So, oh yes, we did have this one.
What we discovered, Amanda, is live tonight with what we
did have this one a couple of years ago. This was Vermont.
Yeah, Tyler, the eclipse, this week's snowstorm, and now earthquake tremors that are so strong. Buildings here in Vermont and in northern New York were shaking. And like you said, it has a lot of people in our region asking,
I was
what
there
is going
at that
on? But
time.
the experts I spoke with today say it's all just coincidental timing. This morning we spoke with a state geologist who ironically was in a meeting with other New England state geological surveyors discussing The exact rocks that were shaking at the time the
This
quake
is a
hit.
past
You were
earthquake
emailing
if
our
you're
news
scrolling.
right after being
This is a
shook by
past
the tremor.
earthquake we're talking
Shannon
about
Zabko
in
from White
Vermont.
River Junction telling us at first she thought her cat scratching was causing a bouncing feeling, then felt pulsing in her body. In Williston, Jane Messina felt
This is
her
about
third
2
floor
years ago.
shaking.
This is the one we
Another
had 2
viewer in
years
Richmond
ago.
saying it felt like his apartment building was wiggling or swaying. How much shaking you felt depends on which rock you were on.
Someone in Stowe said they felt something. They saw their lamp shaking for about 5 seconds in their office. But somebody in Essex Town felt their whole living room shaking for about 20 to 30 seconds. So it really depends. I don't think there was any violent shaking anywhere, but it was enough, that people certainly knew something was going on.
Regardless, it was felt across the state. We've received reports from Burlington, Richmond, Colchester, Heinsberg, Jericho, all the way down to Barrie, Berlin, Pittsburgh, Cavendish, and Wallingford. If you also felt this morning's earthquake,
This is a past earthquake, guys, that I'm just saying happened in Vermont a couple years ago. So we're trying to get updates on earthquakes in Vermont. So see the title, 4.8 earthquake. That was 2 years ago. And we had some here in Vermont, but they were way back when, like in the 60s. So that's the one they keep talking about there. And just wanted to kind of give you that information. And that, yes, Vermont has had small earthquakes. And they had larger earthquakes way back in like the 60s and 70s, I believe it is, way back. And so we haven't had any significant earthquakes in many, many, many years. But if there is an earthquake here, you feel the shaking and whatnot, just remember, drop, cover, and wait it out. Drop, cover, and wait it out. Dropping is very important. Do not try to walk or run in it, because you can get significantly thrown if the shaking increases. Okay, guys, so with that, I will see you in the next video shortly and today, and you have a beautiful start to your Saturday. And if you're interested in what's happening in Venezuela, guys, they had a third major earthquake. So check it out, and I will try to get some information on where we can send items to help them out. You have a beautiful day, guys.